Yeah, good morning guys. Mine happened to our friends in the Philippines. Up on the screen guys, the Bosshog secrets. 10 secrets Brian won't share with his subscribers. We're going to have a bit of fun here now guys, at the expense of Brian Granville Smith, a foreigner farming in the Philippines. But before we start guys, what I'd like to say is that Brian likes to put himself across as being an all-around good guy. He portrays himself as a hard-working, knowledgeable, honest, successful YouTuber. But nothing could be further from the truth. In this video today guys, we're going to reveal the true character of Brian Granville Smith, a foreigner farming in the Philippines. And after listening to these 10 secrets, maybe, just maybe, his supporters might start waking up. So, without further ado guys, number 10. Brian, he won't tell his subscribers that he's driving the Begmobile illegally without an updated registration or ever having taken the Begmobile for its annual smog test. Because as part of the vehicle inspection, he would have been told to replace the front windshield, which is smashed. That would have had to be replaced before they issued an updated, up-to-date registration. So he's riding around the Philippines. He's already said he doesn't have insurance. He's riding around the Philippines with no registration and no insurance. I'm sure that his subscribers will be very pleased to hear that. Number 9. Brian won't ever admit to receiving a demand letter from Rick's lawyer. And Rick's lawyer gave him 14 days to pay the money owed to Rick, or he would be taken to court to recover the money. For those of you who do not know the Rick saga, Rick sold Brian some pigs some time ago, and Brian made a video after Rick asked for his money. And Brian told him, "You're not getting paid. Kick rocks." That was number 9. Number 8. When Maricel was in hospital after giving birth to his second son, Brian, the successful businessman, the top 1% YouTuber, didn't have the money to pay the hospital bill, so he had to borrow the money from a friend. Now, for those of you that don't know guys, in the Philippines, if you can't pay your hospital bill, they hold the patient, your son, your wife, until it's paid. So he had to borrow the money to have Maricel and young Charlie released from hospital. That was number 8. Number 7. Just recently, his ex-best friend and business partner, Jason, and his wife Jen, visited Bohol from their new house in Cebu to pay their respects to Manina after John's passing. But Jason and Jen never, I repeat, never visited Brian or Maricel at the Bosshog. I don't know why. It might have something to do with money. And that was number 7. Number 6. During the typhoon, the roof of the Bosshog was destroyed. We all know that. Brian, Marcel, Gina and Tatai all spent the vast majority of their time in the begging mobile, spending hours driving around looking for an internet signal so they could play the feel sorry for us live streams, and using that same old scam. We have a problem. Our roof is destroyed. The solution is send us donations for a flat concrete roof. And Brian in those live streams gave the estimate of how much it would cost for the concrete roof, but of course he didn't have the budget and he was asking for donations. But what Brian forgot to tell his subscribers was that his brother in the USA sent him 100,000 pesos. He forgot to mention that. Just a little slip up. That was number 6. Number 5, guys. After the typhoon, Brian, if you can remember, he didn't have any gasoline in the begging mobile. And if you remember, he was smart enough to not, I repeat, he was smart enough to not prepare to fill up the beg mobile with gasoline before the typhoon came. Brian went and borrowed some gasoline from a friend and promised to pay them 200 pesos. Even after receiving 100,000 pesos from his brother and 75,000 pesos in super chats, to this day Brian is still not paid the neighbour the tiny sum of 200 pesos. He still owes his neighbour 200 pesos for the gasoline that he borrowed from him some 5 months ago. So that was number 5. Number 4, guys. A lot of people talk about the San Francisco property, and the rumours are here, there and everywhere. But the truth is, Brian and Jason agreed to buy a 1 hectare fish pond on the edge of the ocean, thinking they could afford it when they became a milkfish millionaires. The agreement was to make a deed of sale on instalments. The deadline to make the final payment arrived. Brian and Jason couldn't pay the balance and lost a total of $35,000. The $35,000 they had previously made in instalments on that deal was forfeited. Well, poor old Jason lost most of the money. And that was number 4. Number 3, guys. A little known secret about the San Francisco property. Brian and Jason screwed. Yes, screwed over not one land agent, not 2 land agents, but 3 land agents in that deal. A total of 500,000 pesos was owed to the land agents. Brian and Jason told those land agents to kick rocks, and rumour has it that one of the land agents is seeking a civil case in court to get her share of the 500,000 pesos owed by Brian and Jason. That was number 3. So let's get on to number 2. And this one is a bit of an eye-opener to you guys. When off camera, Brian likes to use his size and stature to bully and intimidate the locals. Now that is off camera. And also, when off camera, Brian likes to verbally abuse, scream and shout at the locals. The many incidents of the real attitude, the real character of Brian Smith towards locals has come out several times over the last few years from several different people who have all said the exact same thing. He's a bully. And that was number 2. But in the best possible way, guys, we always save the best one, the best secret, till the last. So, and finally, we will reveal number 1. The last time Maricel was away in Mindanao, Brian got himself into a little bit of trouble. Didn't you, Brian? It seems you always get yourself into bother every time Maricel leaves you unattended. Brian got himself into a little incident with a motorcycle and ended up in jail for not having the legally required motor vehicle insurance. Is that correct, Brian? Of course it is, you know it is. And also, Brian, weren't you crying on the phone to an ex-friend to come and help you out? Yes, you were. And Maricel is away now in Mindanao. What bother are you going to get yourself into this time? What friend is going to bail you out this time when you get into trouble? That's a question for you, Brian. And then you have it, guys. The top 10 secrets from the Bohovel. The top 10 secrets that Brian Granville Smith does not want his subscribers to know about. That's his true character that we have revealed today. A bully, intimidator, a lawbreaker, an irresponsible scumbag. How anyone can support a foreigner farming in the Philippines is beyond me. We keep bringing you evidence, no lies, no innuendo. We keep bringing you the truth. And Brian knows it's the truth. Because Brian knows that he was in jail. He got put in jail for driving that motorcycle illegally. And he's still driving around in the begging mobile illegally. So he didn't learn his lesson then. He's an irresponsible scumbag. So guys, till the next time, keep your money in your pocket. Do not send to the parasite at the Bohovel. Bye for now.